Good morning. We are live here at Cottonseed Rapids. I want to give a big shout out and thank you to the Perkins family for once again allowing us access onto their private property to have a nice way to see our paddlers during this 2023 Junior Texas Water Safari. So we are approximately, how many miles are we into this? Like 8 miles? Okay. So the full Junior Texas Water Safari is from City Park in San Marcos all the way down to Staples Dam, which is the first checkpoint in the full Texas Water Safari. So Cottonseed Rapids, we are approximately 8 miles, 7-8 miles downstream. Normal river levels. This would approximately be an hour for our fast teams, but we are at maybe 70 CFS today. And that's up because we were at like 35 the other day. So the flow is slow and the paddlers are many. No, I think we have approximately 50-ish boats in the race today. And some new folks, some first timers. So we're hoping that they didn't go left at the Blanco and they went right onto the San Marcos, and that they're making their way downstream past Old Mill Rapids at the San Marcos River Retreat, and they have to go over Cummings Dam, Thompson's Island. There's several portages, good sized dams in between Cottonseed and the start at City Park. Downstream from here, they will run into the Martindale Dam, the Martindale Low Water Bridge, Skulls Crossing, before they, and the 1977 bridge, before they reach the finish line at Staples Dam on 1979. So we did have some pretty fast boats, tandem solos, who ran Rio Vista, so they really should be arriving anytime. Sandy is tracking her husband, Tommy, who's paddling his first junior, right? This is Drew's first junior. This is Drew Yonley's first junior water safari, and she's tracking them, and they're not very far away. So we thought we'd go ahead and start the live stream so that we hopefully will get them captured when they come around the corner. So if you can see this pretty clearly, I think Sandy remarked that this is the greenest she's ever seen it down here, and she's right. Like the only green around, and I'll scroll upwards here at the Perkinses, and you're going to see that just up here, everything is brown and dead. Like everything is dead. We are in this horrific drought where we didn't get rain for months. And so the river's been consistently dropping, but what's growing is right next to the river. So I'm not sure we've ever seen it quite this green. These elephant ears are insane. Like they're humongous. And up at the old dam right up there, you can see the giant, let's see if I can scroll in. Oh, I can. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go up here just a little bit. You can see the elephant ears, which usually there's nothing there. Like people kind of come and they just they can just land right next to that dam. Well, there's huge greenery there. So we really, oh, now it's not going to let me pull back. Come on. There we go. So we really don't know what's going to happen. People had some issues in the safari this year on River Right at that corner where it was taking boats out. There's like a swift spot there. So I anticipate we're going to see some folks hugging River Left as they come around that corner. And then I don't know if you can see there's a bird sitting on a rock up there in front of the elephant ears. So I'm gonna see if I can get a picture of that. So we just have no idea what's gonna happen. We just got a lot of exposed rock, and a lot of rock that's covered with greenery. So if people haven't done this before or haven't done it since safari, this might be a bit of a surprise. Can you see that bird on that rock beyond the elephant ears? There's a little bird. I didn't put my zoom on, so I don't think I can get it very well, but I'm gonna try. No, I couldn't get it. There's just this little tiny bird. Sorry, folks, we have to entertain ourselves somehow while we're waiting for these boats to arrive. They should be here any second, from what Sandy said. And we keep hearing something that sounds like paddles, but it must not be. Maybe that's hammering. Is that hammering? Unfortunately, there's a lot of construction going on in and around Martindale. People are fixing up old houses, and growth is kind of inevitable in this Austin to San Antonio corridor, and we're just praying that anything that could potentially pollute this beloved river doesn't get passed. We really encourage everyone, if you come out and spend any time on the San Marcos and Guadalupe, please pick up your trash. Do not bring open containers, aluminum. Tom Goins at the San Marcos River Retreat posted something the other day, very insightful. It's just about, you know, the changes that have come to the San Marcos from tubers and people just not being good stewards of the river. So if anything, paddlers pride themselves on being good stewards of the river, and keep your trash out, pick up trash when you're on the river, you know, be quiet long enough to hear the river running. And we do have a couple little, because the water's so low, we can really see some rocks here that may impede some people when they get just downstream of Cottonseed. I'm looking at one that's quite horrifying. So we're going to hope that Jay and Jack don't get a lot of business out of repairing boats from this race today. And everybody pray for rain. we really need that El Nino winter rain to come to renew this river. So, all right, a few spectators here. We're watching for other people. I see Tim Curry over there, and Lydia's here. Sandy's ready. So I know. I'm so sorry that we haven't had any boats come, y'all. We're really... As Sandy reminded me on the way down, she usually is shooting pictures up at her folks' place at Old Mill Rapid. And so, you know, having been here at Safari, I'm usually here at Cottonseed. So I was expecting not long after 10. It is now 10:11, 11 after 10. So really, any minute, they should be here. Well, there should have been a couple of boats ahead of them. The Zeeks were ahead of them, and Fred. So, again, Morgan and Chris broke a rudder before they even got to Rio. So, you know, we're going to, hopefully people have repair kits in their boats, you know, in case things happen. At least some really good Gorilla Tape for what could happen today. So, you know, we do not evacuate people from the river. Folks have to get themselves out of this. So, just a reminder, if you're here, if you're watching, you're supporting a person, you're their emergency contact, and they have to get out of the race early, they need to call Linda Cochran and let them know they're withdrawing. So, or they can message the page, or they can message me, Patty Geisinger, and I will relay the message. But it could be a real long day for some folks, especially since we do have some weather coming in. There's a line of storms in the hill country. Probably going to get here sometime between noon and 2. So hopefully folks are moving swiftly down the river. If you have any questions, put it in the live stream. I'm just excited that we actually have signal here. The problem with Staples Dam, where we do finish the race, is that there's really not great cell service. So if you're thinking about coming out to follow Safari in June, second Saturday in June, be prepared for lots of walking, the heat, and the fact that there's not always great cell service. So bring a real map with you, or download your route ahead of time, because we cannot guarantee good cell service, and you could get lost if you don't know your way really well. So, all right, we got about 17 people on, so I hate to get off when literally the boat could be coming around the corner. They really should be here any second. A couple notable things. We've got Holly Orr with Paddle with Style. She is a sponsor of the Texas Water Safari. She is out there with her two boys, William and Matthew, which should be fun. They're in a 3-man boat. Phil Bowden has been out of racing for a couple years, kind of with some medical issues. And we'll see him today as well. All right, here's our first boat. It is Born Again. It is the Zeke brothers coming around. They did pretty well there. I can't guarantee how many good pictures I'm going to get. And right behind them, again, Fred Miner This is who we kind of called being here first. So the Zeeks and Fred. Oh my gosh, pictures with the elephant ears are a challenge. Good job, Fred! And they navigated that big rock in the river really well. Here comes Fred. I mean, he paddles here, I'm sure, all the time. Way to go, Fred! Easily around those impediments in the river. Okay, really the next boat should be Tommy and Drew, so we'll see. Like I said, we got Phil's in a 3-man, Holly's in a 3-man. Here comes the next boat. Is that Wayne? Wayne Thorpe, and is that Ryan Martinez? No. Chris? Who is that? Chris Eisendorf? Followed by David Ernst in solo. Oh, is he in the Thunderbolt? I think he's in Will's Thunderbolt. Okay, so obviously you can kind of see what's going on up here. People are coming around hard on the left, and you kind of get hung up on the little dam there with the elephant ears. There's David saying hi to Lydia's our main cheerleader today. Great job, David. Doing okay? Okay, we had a little issue with Chris and Wayne. They must have flipped up there. They're dumping the water out. They're just fine. We can kind of navigate through here. Honestly, this corner is probably going to take a lot of our even experienced paddlers out today because of the water level, the obstructions. But you know, they don't call it the world's toughest junior canoe race for nothing. No, just kidding. It's always sensible, even though the water level will change, the river will change before next year. If you're interested in doing safari, let's say in 2025, consider doing the junior in 2024. Check your gear. Come do some smaller races up and down the Guadalupe and the San Marcos. Join one of the paddling forums, ATX, DTX, HTX, paddlers, and Martindale Athletic Club. Come out for the small races. Great job, Wayne. Wayne and Chris. All right, doing great. Heading downstream. All right, so that's our first 1, 2, 3, 4 boats. Okay, really, it should be Tommy and Drew next, right? We do get very excited about our young people paddling in this sport. You know, the trend over the years has been kind of it to fall off. But we try to make sure there's a lot, we, the TCKRA, etc., try to make sure there's lots of races for young people, that the juniors can come out and race. Okay, well, here's the minors. Here's Kyle and Logan coming in, followed by Tommy and Drew. Okay, great. Both Kyle and Logan did exceptionally well at the Asable Canoe Marathon this year. Super proud of them. It's really great to see Drew paddling with his dad today. Great job, Drew. Good job, Tommy. Big rocks, big rocks. Everybody got over those rocks really well, so that's awesome. All right. So let me see, count. Did I just count how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 boats through? I'm trying to keep track, folks. I'm so sorry. I failed to get an actual count of how many started. But we're going to keep the live stream going as long as we can. Hopefully it looks okay to everybody. I'm going to get real tired of seeing those elephant ears. And if my phone doesn't overheat, which it might not, I do have my power back up so we can keep live streaming. If you're watching for a loved one, you counted 6. Okay, great. We are at 6. Great. Sandy, start the clock on when you need to leave. So it is 10:18 now. The first boat came through at 10:12. So you're going to want to take off in 30 to maybe 40. Okay. Just want to get Sandy downstream so see her boy finish. And there's Brooke and Ian. Oh my gosh. Woohoo! Go Brooke! Got Brooke and Ian Rolls coming into Cottonseed. Can't see them behind the darn elephant ears. She's kind of in the middle of the elephant ears, but she managed to get through that. Way to go, Brooke. And Ian, sorry. We get real excited when wives who are usually support crew end up getting to paddle. It's always a fun day. Great job, Ian and Brooke. Looking great, Brooke. You got it. No, you got it. Big rock there, too. Okay, they navigated through that just great. Okay, don't mind me while I holler instructions to someone else. Hey, Lydia, will you text Brian Jones, first boat through Cottonseed at 10:12? Okay, yeah, he said he was going to be at the finish just in case Sandy and I don't make it. So, thanks everybody for your patience as we try to coordinate. We're down a couple members of our social media team today. So, just wanting to make sure that we acknowledge everyone's hard work today at the Junior with pictures and video. Because we really do love our paddling community from the fastest to the slowest. And I will stay here at Cottonseed as long as I can, taking pictures before I have to head to the finish. So let's just hope everybody gets here just safely. Okay. So I knew there was going to be a little gap, but I bet there's not a big one. I bet the next boat will be here any second. So, okay. So a good 6 solid boats, pretty fast. Only one small dump up there by the big elephant ears at the little broken dam. So hoping that the aluminums, we should start seeing aluminums like any minute. Any minute. We had a couple fast aluminums out there. And obviously aluminum was the way to go today. Actually, I would not be surprised if we saw Morgan and Chris soon. I would imagine they would pick up some speed. Jason Cade wearing his hat now, if you were watching at Rio Vista. Jason, so he wouldn't lose his hat, was holding it in his mouth. So now he's got it on his head. Coming through. Our Jason with his long flowing blonde locks. Trying to get a picture. Thank God Sandy's here because my pictures are not the best compared to Sandy's. So there will be photo albums going up on the main page after this of everybody's accomplishments and the award ceremony. So check back in to see pictures just in case you missed seeing them in person. Okay, so that is 7 boats now. I'm gonna keep a running tally. And if I do have to take the live stream down, because my phone is all of a sudden getting a little warm, yeah, because I'm not in the shade. So usually I can get a little shade, but I just really cannot tell you. The places everybody sits for safari are all these rocks here, and literally the rocks all the way down to the water's edge are completely covered with, just for fun, let me show you, completely covered with this greenery, with tons and tons of flowers. And so the bees are just having a heyday. Boy, there's bees everywhere. So it's hard to see this today, knowing that usually for safari there's people covering all of these rocks all the way down to the river. So and here's our next boat. This is Jim Sutherland, Solo Ho. Okay, he did a little bobble there, but he managed to get through that okay. It's up against the dam where we cannot see them. Usually we can see them. We can see their heads. These elephant ears are insane. So, okay, there's Jim. Great. He got around there okay. Great job, Jim! And here comes Holly and her boys. Again, if you're interested in having your children learn how to paddle, or you yourself could use a lesson or two before tackling safari. We cannot recommend Holly or Paddle with Style for rental of a boat, for lessons, for canoe camp for the children. So really consider Paddle with Style for all your paddling instruction needs. Woohoo! Good to see that 3-man go through here. Awesome. All right, so let's see who our next, okay, really honestly, there should be an aluminum soon. Mostly because Sandy, Gaston, and Dodd didn't run number 1 with their aluminum. They sort of jumped it down number 1 and number 2. So I really thought we'd be seeing them pretty soon. Trash in the river. Oh, yuck, you're right. Maybe the people going in there is getting it out. That's nasty. Yeah, the sad reality is people bring their disposable plastics on the river and then they dump and all their stuff goes floating away. People lose everything, their phones, their vapes, all their electronic devices, and that is so not healthy in the river. People think, oh, I'll be fine, but guess what? You're probably going to dump and you're going to lose all your stuff. So if you don't have it in a dry bag, and if you have single-use plastic, it's going into the river and it might sink. People can cut their feet on the open containers and stuff. So please, please, please respect the river. Don't bring all that stuff onto the river because it's just going to end up on the bottom of our beautiful, beautiful San Marcos. All right, so we should have, actually a good chunk of people should be coming. Like, thank you for the little thumbs up. I decided I'd be quiet so you could hear the river.
Poor David.
What's wrong?
All this water siphoned out.
No.
He was like, do you have any water? Can you meet me somewhere?
So you're going to go meet him? Okay.
Tim's going to meet him.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I kind of want to see Gaston.
You know, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of ants here. There's a reason you should put a tip on your tube. Put a
might
tip.
have one though. It's siphoned. I had some siphoned out in this Classique, even with the tip on.
With the tip on.
If there's a little cut in the tip or something you don't know of,
It could come out.
it comes out. Yeah.
Well, we just
I had
pretty
done the
much.
Classique, or the 90 a few times. So I was like, why is my bottle empty? I was like, I've got everything on, and I realized it was just.
It just siphoned anyway.
There's a little hole right there.
Yep. Definitely, you know, can learn a lot of stuff from other people and their experiences in the safari. So, all right, thanks for the coverage. Well, you are welcome. Oh, Richard, well, we wish you were here. I did use your picture, Richard, the other day.
Where is Richard?
I'm not sure, but
Where are you, Richard?
There's Jerry and... Woo! All right. Okay, is it Jerry? I can't see.
Jerry,
yes,
Phil, and
Jerry,
Phil.
Phil, and Phil. Okay.
Yeah, Jerry, yeah, Phil, and Phil.
We are so glad. Last year we had a whole boat of safari veterans, and it's really great to see these folks. Jerry back and Phil in there, and actually Phil. Oh my gosh, we love Phil Bowden. Woo-hoo! You know, and Phil actually will shuttle people, and he also River Fitness. There we go. You ready for your live stream? Woo-hoo! Miss DeMille.
Nice work, y'all.
So good to see them. Okay, I'm going to scroll back. So sorry, I wanted to get them going through. So Linda could see Jerry
Mary
going
Jo's
through.
watching.
Oh, and Mary Jo was watching. Okay, great. Oh, we're just having a good time out here. It's kind of sunny. I lost count. Shoot. What were we at? Was that 8? Oh, Lord.
Jonathan and Fred. Chris and Wayne.
Well, no, right, Chris and Wayne, and then
Kyle
Drew,
and Logan.
Kyle and Logan, Drew and Tommy. That's 5. David 6. Phil 7. Holly 8. Jason 9. Are we at 9 or 10?
9 or 10-ish.
There they are. Here's our first aluminum, just as expected. Gaston Jones, Dodd Yeager coming in. Coming in the correct way to Cottonseed. They cut right.
Yeah, Don, let's go.
Great boat handling skills. And first aluminum.
Woo-woo, looking good.
Doing great, you guys. Are they even in matching shirts and everything?
Yeah, they planned that.
That is impressive.
Yeah, how about Dodd? Woo-woo. Looking good.
You know, when you have an aluminum in this kind of water level.
Nice job, Dodd. Nice job, Gaston.
You can be more aggressive because you can pop it up over logs and you can bump into those rocks and not worry about taking out your $2,000 carbon fiber boat. Just saying.
Yeah, they did well for that.
They really did. They almost went faster than anybody else. I was like,
really?
they were booking.
They don't have to be as worried about it, I think so.
No. Just it's so funny because Libby's doing aluminum again this year in Safari, but she didn't do it with Luke this time.
She's already committed?
Yeah. Well, Luke asked her like right away.
Oh, geez.
They had a good time in that 5-man with the Webbers. I think Webbers are going tandem
That's awesome.
too.
Good for her.
So yeah.
But also, what a boss that she's like, yeah, I'll do aluminum again.
I know. Well,
Lily
she had never.
also really likes aluminum.
Yeah, isn't that interesting? And they didn't do. She did C2 in our mixer, the first 2 safaris when she was 16 and 17. So she learned to drive without a rudder.
Yeah.
And
That's the way to do it.
and then she'd done like with Mary. They've done.
Yeah.
She's done a lot of different boats, but she'd never done aluminum. So when Joe said, "You want to do aluminum?" She's like, "Well, I haven't done aluminum.
Yeah, why not?
Let's finish 10th."
Yeah. Yeah, right?
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. So
Super impressive.
she does like aluminum. Mary, on the other hand, really, I just took her boat up to. They got the boat up to her so she can train up in Colorado. But she really wants to do safari, but she doesn't want to do it solo. She was hoping to find somebody.
She should connect with Luke.
Well, that's what I told her, and I was like, reach out to Luke.
Because Luke was having a hard time finding. I think Luke was like, I'm just gonna go solo because no one wants to go with someone out of town.
And I was like, well, so I did. I'm hoping they'll connect.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here saying it on the live stream on the water safari.
You can't say no to that now.
Luke, reach out to Mary. Mary, reach out to Luke. Yeah, they're really not that far
Well,
apart.
that would be very nice then, because then anytime you talk about your daughters, you can just say they're racing with Luke.
Oh, that's true. My gosh, that would be so easy.
Yeah.
That would be so confusing.
Or less confusing, because then you would just be like, oh, Luke, and then,
Honestly, safari very much can be a family affair, as evidenced today by we have some father-sons, and we had some mother-sons, and we'll have husband-wife, mother-daughter. Do we have any mother-daughters?
I don't think a mother-daughter's out there.
Not this year. But, any kind of combination. We've had grandfathers and grandchildren. So, you can do it with your family. And oh my gosh, what a great way to spend time with your family on the river.
We had 2 brothers. Oh, we probably said that.
Oh, lots of brothers.
Yeah.
Lots of brothers. Bunch of women, bunch of men, but whatever. It's the women boats that we really care about. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, speak that true.
Oh my goodness, but if you have a kid in the race, we forget the adults in the boat. It doesn't matter. You're just always yelling for the kid. So really, think of what other sport can you have such a community gathered around your children and encouraging them. It's so healthy and emotionally satisfying to raise especially young women up in this sport where it is about strength. It is about your strength. Okay, and here comes, sure enough, Morgan and Chris.
Yeah, Morgan!
I was saying they'd probably be along pretty quickly, even though they had that broken rudder issue.
Tim and I were saying that too. They'll pass lots of times.
Adam Sims.
Good job, Adam. Come on, Morgie.
Well, and oftentimes we talk about people just go insane and they do crazy stuff at Rio Vista. But you got to remember, it's only the first 5 minutes of the darn race.
Woo! Yeah,
And
Morgan.
you got to remember that you can lose the race at Rio Vista.
There's
But-
a splash cat. There she is. Nice,
All right,
Chris.
Morgan and then
Nice,
Adam
Morgie.
Sims. Adam
good,
is
my
our
friend. There you go.
resident pharmacist.
Adam.
Wonderful man. So glad he has stuck with paddling and continues to improve and train. And nice, Adam. That rock there is just gnarly. I'm a little worried about how our inexperienced paddlers are going to do with that.
If they're in aluminum,
they'll be all right,
be fine.
Right? Okay, we got some plastic, so...
Yeah, carbon fiber. They probably haven't made it this far. So.
Most of the carbon did okay there. So
oh, no, just saying, like, if they're super...
Oh,
like,
yes, that's true. Well, it's horrifying to me because I've never seen that rock.
Yeah, no, it is.
And so for me, it's like, that scares me to death.
Well, Tim and I were saying, though, like, at least when you're in low water, at least all the rocks are there versus that medium low where it's, like, just high enough.
You just can't see them, right?
No, everyone's crushing it through this stuff.
No, it's great. I mean, they've talked about Cottonseed. Really, the Old Mill is the new Cottonseed as far as difficulty level. Cottonseed is not what it used to be after the last big flood. Okay, so here's our cowboy boat. This is Bobby Smart and John DuPont. As you know, almost every year we have a cowboy boat. John Mark Harris and leads up that boat. People wear cowboy hats. But this was the first year we had a cowgirl in the boat. We had John Mark's daughter in the boat, Josie, and she did awesome. So,
that's a really clean line they got going on too.
Cowgirls are always welcome.
Nice job, Bobby. Nice job, John.
Woohoo!
Nice line.
A little bit of a draw there, yeah. Okay. You know, once they taught me what a draw was, then I've been like, I see what a draw is now. I get it, I think. Or it's a cross draw. There's a cow's draw. I don't know.
And
I say these things, people shouldn't be letting me talk. Don't let me talk about paddling. I don't actually know.
You know so much, Patty.
I've paddled a couple of times. I'm very happy on the bank. Okay, Tommy went by at 10:18. 6 minutes after the first boat. So it is now 10:36. You had a 30 to 40 minute window. You're fine. Sorry, we're watching the clock, folks.
I like Tommy. Every time he's gone by, he always goes, "So Drew, smile for the camera."
We often tell people, please smile, because you really don't want, if your only picture coming through is this horrific grimace on your face.
See, I started doing this where, like, I would be like, act like a camera's not there so I could get one or two few photos of me looking like super serious.
Super serious.
But then I was like overthinking it, so it always, would be like, ugh, you know, I'm like, yeah, just smile. Just smile for the camera, don't.
Well, you know, we teased Cecily mercilessly for years because she's concentrating and we couldn't get her to smile. And, you know, that first time we got her to smile was just a glorious moment. And, you know, but...
Yeah.
Right.
Well, in that case, I'm like, I'm just going to go down the whole river with a smile on my face.
And now you're all learning the super secret background of what it's like to be on a social media team. We just really want you to smile. We see you for a split second at most of generally the normal places. But, you know, we got to give a huge shout out to Shannon and Chris Essendorf for paddling upstream into the log jams this year. Those videos can be found on our Facebook page if you look under videos. But they went and got us some really fun videos this year of places we don't usually get to. Because, you know, I'm not getting in a boat and paddling upstream anywhere, but they could. So that was super fun. And it's so hard because people see these great, lovely videos and they think this is just the easiest race ever. Because everybody's smiling and it looks all easy and everything. And it's not, people. Like, you really got to train. These people are like professional athletes. They are professional athletes. They're paddling internationally and all over the country. And so you can't just come into this thinking, well, we're just going to jump in a boat and go. Because really, you need to have respect for yourself and the race and prepare physically, mentally, see the river. So, again, from a non-paddler who's had 2 daughters raised up in this, go Yay! See the river. Here's our young people. Great job, you guys. Oh, my phone overheated. And then when I tried to resume the video, it made me turn it. So we are back, at least for a little bit. We'll see how long it lasts. Just Miss Derek Lee, Kylie, and this is Chris Kelter and partner. I'm not sure who's with Chris today. And then Libby Geisinger and Luke Parker. Great job, guys. Way to go. Chris, it's so good to see you. I'm so sorry about your boat. Oh. And Libby and Luke, Second Aluminum, catching Chris Kelter and partner. So sorry. So sorry about the overheating phone. I'm gonna try to start fanning it. I need a piece of bark. I didn't bring any paper. So maybe I'll try to shade it. That's not working. I did buy this really great thing that you can attach to your phone if like you're a gamer to keep your phone cooled. I know, I realized I'm not. I was kind of in the shade, but anyway, the live stream does heat up our technology, and it's wonderful to see the live stream, but sometimes things overheat. So I'm just gonna blow on it. Thanks for sticking with us when my phone overheated. It did resume the live stream, so there was a little bit of an interruption. But we did just have 3 more boats come through, and of course I've lost track. Well, we're somewhere between 10 and 20 boats now. But Second Aluminum was Libby and Luke. We had Chris Kelter and partner, and Kylie Reed and Derek Lee. So Sandy will be taken off within about, she's got 10 more minutes before she can head off. So at that point, I'm solely on pictures, and I'll have to turn off the live stream. So hopefully we get a few more people here coming through Cottonseed Rapids here at the Junior Texas Water Safari 2023. We have some storms threatening up in the hill country that we sure hope hold off long enough for us to finish this race. I think that's why the heat just ratcheted up here on us, and it's going to be a warm day for our folks. I'm literally blowing on my phone, everybody. I'm so sorry. And I've got it shaded by my hands. Just remember that there's a series of dams that everybody has to portage on the upper San Marcos. And if you're considering doing safari, come see the river, which is what I was saying before my phone overheated. You really do need to practice, see those portages, make a plan to get over those efficiently, and kind of just gauge your time, because they're in the Texas Water Safari, the main race, there are cutoff times that are very firm that you will be out if you don't make it, to Staples Dam by like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock during safari. So this is just a touchstone. The Junior lets you see the first 16 miles to the first checkpoint from City Park. So so that's kind of what everybody's traversing today at extraordinarily low water. We have another, there's rain forecast for today, maybe a little bit tomorrow, but then it's gone again. We're going to be back in the 90s, and, we'll kind of see, there might be some more rain next week, but we'll see. It's coming in super slow, but it did dislodge the heat dome that's been sitting over Texas for like 3 months. So there's a reason why the water is so low, and you can see that reflected in the live stream today. So I'm just going to keep live streaming a little bit more. I have a feeling there's probably a boat coming, and it's not just because I see debris. But we should have a passel of aluminums just any moment. There might be, did we only have like 2 or 3 3-mans? Like, we didn't have too many big boats today. No, so we've already seen 2 3-mans go through. So we'll just wait and see. Again, sorry for the live stream having to now be vertical. Maybe I can scroll in a little bit. Oh my gosh, where are my glasses? Cancel. Okay. Well, I'm glad folks tuned back in. We've had good coverage today. We've had good cell service. It's just keeping the phones cool is an issue. But we'll be getting pictures. If we can get video from Staples, we will do so. If not, Sandy, you gonna drone at Staples or no? We'll see. We'll see if it's clear. She might. It might be kind of fun to get a drone. And then I will definitely not stop the live stream because we can't be live streaming at the same time. So my phone's gonna be dead by then at that point. So this is a huge gap. I'm really surprised by the gap. So who are you waiting for? Who are you waiting for? Oh, okay. My God, I didn't even see you changed your clothes. And did you dye your hair? You did. Okay, great. I'm not crazy. I was like, wait a minute. Well, it's real cute. You know, my problem is everybody's like, Patty knows everybody. I'm like, well, I do until they cut their hair, change their clothes, change their boat. Then I'm like, oh, crud. Now I've got to figure out I know their names. In general, I know what they look like. Okay, here comes our next boat. This is Jeremiah. Go, Jeremiah. Jeremiah was a novice this year. He did finish Safari. I think he did. He finished Safari, right? Super glad to have him out here today. I know he was messaging me about the lightning potential, and I was like, well, it's going to happen, lightning or no. Look at him smiling for Sandy. Way to go, Jeremiah. They must be piled up behind you because nobody's coming. I don't know. It's so weird. Well, you're doing great. Top 20, dude. So, well, that kind of confirmed things that we got it kind of backlogged back there. So we'll give Sandy a few more minutes before she has to take off for the finish, but this doesn't bode really well for everybody making the cutoff. And here comes our next aluminum, Aaron's water.